Hello guys, welcome back, and today we are continuing part 2 of Curious George Takes a Job. An hour later, the painters came back. They opened the door and stood there with their mouths wide open. The whole room had changed into a jungle with palm trees all over the walls, and a giraffe, and 2 leopards, and a zebra, and a little monkey was very busy painting himself on one of the trees, and the painters knew what happened. Luckily, George was close to a door. He ran out as fast as he could. After him ran the 2 painters, then the elevator man, and then a woman who lived in the place. "Oh, my lovely room! My lovely room!" cried the woman. "Don't let him get away!" George headed for the fire escape. George reached the end of the fire escape. The others had not caught up with him yet. Here was his chance. They could not jump, but George could easily jump down and escape. In a moment, he would be safe. Poor little George. He had forgotten the pavement was hard as stone, not like soft as the grass in the jungle. Too bad. The fall broke his leg, and an ambulance had to take George to the hospital. "He got what he deserved," said the woman. "Making my apartment into a jungle, indeed." "I was told he would get in trouble," the elevator man added. "He was too curious." George had to lie in bed with his leg high up in a plaster cast. He was very unhappy, and it had all started out so nicely. If only he had not been so curious, because have had a lot of fun. Now it was too late. But the next morning, George's friend, the man with the big yellow hat, was buying his newspaper. Suddenly, he got very excited. "This is George!" he shouted when he saw the picture on the front page. Quickly, he read the whole story and then ran into the telephone booth to ring the hospital. "I am George's friend," he said to the nurse who answered the telephone. "Please take good care of him so that he will get better quickly. I want to take him to a movie studio and make a picture about his life in the jungle. Don't let him get into any more mischief until I can take him away." Finally, the day came when George could walk again. "Your friend is going to take you away this morning," said the nurse. "Just wait right here for him and don't touch anything." As soon as George was alone, he looked all around the strange hospital things. "I wonder what is in that big blue bottle," he thought. George was very curious. It smelled funny. Suddenly his head began to twirl. Then he felt as if he were flying. Then rings and stars danced before his eyes. Then everything went dark. And this is how the man with the yellow hat found George when he came to call for him. They picked him up and shook him, but they could not wake him up. He was so fast asleep that finally they had to put him in under the shower. How surprised he was when he woke up. George said goodbye to the nurse and the kind doctor. Then he and the man with the yellow hat got in the car to drive to the movie studio. In the president's office, George had to sign a contract. Now he was a movie actor. In the studio, George was kept so busy all the time that he forgot to be curious. He liked the jungle that they made for him and played happily there. And when the picture was finally finished, George invited all his friends to see it. The doctor and the nurse and the ambulance driver and the man from the newsstand and the woman and the elevator man and the 2 painters and the cook and the reporter and all the keepers of the zoo. Now the lights went out and the picture started. "This is George," the voice began. "He lived in the jungle. He was a good little monkey. He had only one fault. He was too curious." The end. Hello guys, we are in the end credits. Well, yes, the cover does look like the cover of the Mr. Men collection, but it is not. This is the Curious George collection. Well, they both look similar. Well, it's in the UK, because it's Egmont brand. Ours are Priester and Sloan. I hope you enjoyed it. Comment down if you want more of my books to be read. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye-bye.